Hello, everybody. We all moonwalkers live in a yellow submarine. Today, oh, sorry. Today, sorry, I just accidentally run over something. But today is a pretty different video because I know you're gonna be like, "What's this video gonna be about?" And yes, if you read it by the title, if you saw the thumbnail, yes, I'm actually gonna talk about the game show that I grew up and loved, which is Family Feud. Which I know many people out there gonna be like, do you still watch Family Feud? Or do you still love Family Feud? Only certain reasons why I love Family Feud. Because if you aren't familiar with Family Feud, it has been around for a long time, like around in the '70s era, through now. Well, not really now because they didn't really make so much stuff these days. But I would love your honest thoughts about Family Feud, about the modern era of Family Feud. Did you love it, or did you somewhat like, or do you fully hated it? Me personally, I prefer the Richard Dawson as the host of Family Feud all the way to John O'Hurley. Because I feel like they're a little more serious. And not only that, but they got some good jokes there now. But Steve Harvey, like as a host, I'm not gonna make it as a rant video. I'm not trying to disrespect for that guy. He's a good guy, but it's just him as a host. I feel like it's kind of a bad idea because he just most of the times where they like give out the answers. Because if you aren't familiar with Family Feud or you even heard about it, but it goes because at the beginning of the round you go to a face off where every where 100 people survey top whatever answers like top 5 or top 8. I think the highest one was top 8 answers. I think, or actually top 6. I could be wrong, but yeah, but it keeps going on, and then a double, and then like I think it was like in round 3 it gets to a double, and round 4 it gets to a triple, and then after all of that they go whoever wins go on to the fast money round where they try to reach to 200 points to get $20,000, I guess, something like that. I haven't watched much of the modern Family Feud, but yeah, Family Feud for me was one of my favorite shows when I was growing up. Wheel of Fortune, Deal or No Deal. Even though if I don't really watch the game shows that much anymore, mostly because I don't know. I guess because in the modern era, I guess it's because they lost interest of what made them popular. That's just my honest opinion. All right, don't send a lot of negative comments. All right, that's just my opinion. I know you may have different opinions than what I have, but yeah. I grew up with like The Price is Right. Too, by the way, Price is Right. Of course, who doesn't know that show? But yeah, I love Bob Barker as a host because I don't think a lot of people watch him as a host anymore. Like because some people do. Some people do watch his Bob Barker's show because actually I've been watching The Price is Right. Not every Sunday. Not every Sunday. Every single week. I don't watch it so much often. I watch their old The Price is Right more often. I guess because I guess it's just what makes it so powerful and what makes it pretty unique and what made it so special. But yeah. By the way, about the Family Feud, when you get to the fast money round, you had to come up with the number one answer, or you can just come up with any number of answers you could go with. You just gotta use your knowledge right there. And guys and girls, if you're gonna be asking yourself, are you gonna play the Family Feud or play any game shows? And by the way, I am also familiar with Jeopardy. I know a lot of game shows, but if you're gonna ask me like if I can do a game show, I could, but I don't want to be judged of what I play because I may not be as smart than what people thinks of how smart I am. But I know the rules of the game shows, and I watch them most some of the time sometimes. But yeah. But I just want to hear your honest thoughts. Like, I just want to ask my viewers, do you like the new host Steve Harvey, or do you not like him? Me personally, I don't really like him as a host. That's just my opinion. Don't fight me against in the comments, because I know there's gonna be a tons of people in the comments that are gonna start going against me because of what I said. But I do like him. He's sometimes funny in the show, but it's just like because like I saw like a couple of I seen a couple of episodes with Steve Harvey. Actually, I think so far I've seen so far with Steve Harvey as the host. I think I seen like 20 episodes. I think 15 episodes so far I've seen before from him, or not 15 episodes. No, I actually saw 10 episodes from Steve Harvey because I wasn't fully interested in the modern era, in my opinion. Because I'm just an old school junkie. That's just me. All right, but Yeah, but when I saw him, like I like Steve Harvey's jokes sometimes, but like I feel like when I saw 10 episodes of Steve Harvey, he kind of goes a little too forced. Like his jokes are a little forced. That's what I feel like in my opinion. Because like here's what I mean by a joke that's forced. Like what I mean by jokes that are forced means like a joke that you're trying to be funny, but you're just keep on forcing it to be funny. That's what I mean by that. But like I said, there's not that much problems with using jokes in in game shows and whatnot, as long as you don't overuse them or keep doing it. Because like for Steve Harvey, I feel like in my opinion, he just keeps like every time they get out like an answer, like every time they say like a question, they say like name something like some or what like some questions like they ask the questions like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention like the game rules. Like after you come up with the top answers on the like after they do a face off, we survey 100 people. Top 5 answers are on the board, and you just gotta come up with the number one answers. And if you got the number one answer, you decide to play or pass, then that's it. Pretty much. If you want to play, then you get 3 strikes, and you get 3 strikes, and another family can get a chance to steal. And yeah, that's pretty much how the game works. But a Family Feud. But me personally, Steve Harvey, I feel like most of his jokes are a little forced, in my opinion. That's just my my thought about it. But that's the thing, because I like the Richard Dawson, and I'm not a big fan of Ray Combs or John Hurley, but I do love them as a host. They are pretty entertaining, to be fair. I mean, I know you can be like, oh, come on, Anthony. Why do you like the old ones a lot more? And I know you can be like, oh, here he goes again, loving the old ones more than the new ones. Look, because I know many people out there are gonna be like, "Oh, you love the old ones so much more than the new ones." Look, I'm just a big fan of the old school. Like, I'm just a big fan of the old school. How I was, because I just wanted to like experience of how it was back then. Because I never, well, that's the thing. Because I love the old school. Because like of the games, the music, like I loved everything from the old days, and I still do that to this very day. Because think about it. Because many people out there just like exploring so many nowadays stuff like that, and they kind of forget what made the old days so special. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, but yeah. But it's true because like I love Richard Dawson. Like Richard Dawson as a host is actually one of my favorites, along with of course, like I said, Ray Combs and John Hurley. I'm not a big fan of him, big fan of them, but I do love them because I saw them as a host. But they're pretty entertaining to watch. But yeah, Ray Combs, Louis Anderson, he's also one of my favorites. Richard Karn, he's also one of my favorites. Like I love all the hosts from the oldies. Like I say, I'm not trying to, troll anyone out there, but like, but I just love the old hosts a lot more because they're just more entertaining. And by the way, what I loved, because I don't know a lot of people actually notice it, but what I loved about the old days, like the old Family Feud, the questions are actually more simple than what it was nowadays. Think about them, because I actually saw like a celebrity. I actually saw an episode of Richard Dawson, which rest in peace to Richard Dawson. I missed that guy. I really missed him. And by the way, rest in peace to Ray Cobbs too. By the way, because Ray Cobbs is the second host of Family Feud. But yeah. But I actually saw the episode the other day of Family Feud where like, I think it was the one with Richard Dawson in it. I think it was the one with Richard Simmons family. Like it's something from like a celebrity charity. Well, I mean not week, but like celebrity charity, special, something like that from Richard Dawson, where I saw like Richard Simmons. I think that's his name. I think that's the guy's name. Is like if you guys aren't familiar with that guy, I forgot his name was, but he's that old guy. He's not a big fan of him, but I seen him around and he's pretty funny. I love that guy. But there was and yeah, I saw like they did like a celebrity guest a special. And the questions were actually simple and actually less inappropriate than what it was in the modern era. You gotta think about it, because, like, think about it. In the modern era, the questions are just mostly about relationships, and we ask 100 women or we ask 100 men. Like, I feel like most of those questions in the modern eras are a little too inappropriate for kids, because it's called Family Feud. You should have just might as well call it Adult Feud or some stuff like that. I don't know what would you call it. Like I said, I'm not trying to make it I'm not trying to make a rant video of Family Feud. I actually do love Family Feud for for certain stuff. Like Richard Dawson through John Hurley is the only host I love. Like what I mean by Richard Dawson through John Hurley, like I love Richard Dawson, Ray Cobbs, Louis Anderson, Richard Karn, and John Hurley so far. Yeah, that's what I mean by that. But yeah, Steve Harvey, he's an okay host, but he's not my personal favorite. I would personally put him in the bottom of my least favorite host because he's entertaining, but it's just I feel like he's not really fully interested. I mean, because he does make some funny jokes, but I feel like he kind of forced himself to make it funny. Like I feel like the jokes he makes are a little forced, in my opinion. They're forced jokes. Like every time they get out, like every time they, you know how hosts they repeat the question, like name an animal that makes this sound or name, stuff like that. But then when they actually give out some good answers, like in the Steve Harvey one, like the Steve Harvey Family Feud, when they gave out like a good answer, Steve Harvey just tried to make jokes about it. Like, come on, that was actually a good answer. Just go with it. Like that's the thing. Steve Harvey doesn't really take his job. He doesn't take Steve Family Feud a little too like he takes it as a joke and not serious, and I don't like that in my personal opinion. Like I said, I'm not trying to rant on Family Feud. I'm not trying to talk trash about Steve Harvey. I somewhat like him. It's just I'm not a big fan of Steve Harvey. But I'm not a big because I've seen him around a bunch of times. But yeah, but I'm not saying he's overrated or stuff like that. I'm not saying that. It's just I've seen him around a bunch of times on commercials, stuff like that. But it's just him as the host of Family Feud. I don't like that idea because I know I'm not trying to talk trash about Steve Harvey because I feel like him as a host is not really a good idea. But and not only that, but the questions in the modern era they're just too inappropriate for Family Feud. Because think about it, in the Richard Dawson era, there was less inappropriate and actually simple questions that you can actually answer for kids. They can actually know what that answer could be. But nowadays the questions are all about relationships and they're all about like inappropriate stuff, and I don't want to hear that stuff. All right, I just want to hear some simple questions, just like how they did back then. Because like funny, I don't know. Because every time I remember Richard Dawson, it always reminds me of that. Every time I talk about Richard Dawson, I always go back to that funniest. Well, I could say, like I can't say like the dumbest because they did give out some good answers there, but I gotta say, whenever I say about Richard Dawson, it kind of traced me back of when but it kind of traced me back of when there was the epic fail of Richard Dawson where he asked this because I don't think you guys saw it. Most of you probably saw it, but like he answers like the questions: name an animal with 3 letters in its name, and one of them just said frog, and I was like, oh my gosh. But 2 of the guys they actually give out some somewhat good answers, so they're not fully 0, But they gave out some good answers. And see, that's the thing about the old Family Feud. They also gave out questions, simple answers, like name an animal with 3 letters in its name. That's simple. You could have named anything. What's the name that pops in your head when you say like an animal with 3 names in its letter or in its 3 letters in its name? What would you think? But like, that's the thing. That's just my personal opinion. I just want to ask you all, what is your honest favorite host of Family Feud? Me, I would. My top favorites has got to be Richard Dawson and Louis Anderson and Richard Karn so far. I love all the hosts. Like I love Ray Cobbs and Louis Anderson, Richard Karn, and John Hurley. I love all the old hosts that we used to have back then. Stuff like that. But nowadays, I feel like Family Feud is a little bit more like a joke in my opinion. Because the jokes, I mean not jokes, but like the questions, and I feel like people are losing, because I feel like that in the modern Family Feud eras, I feel like they're losing meaning of what made Family Feud so special when it first came out with Richard Dawson, in my opinion. Because I know many kids out there probably are going to find Richard Dawson Family Feud will find it a little corny, but you got to act like you're in that, era where that show was big at the time. Think about it. Because I know many people out there are going to find Richard Dawson or the other host corny, but think about it. They're actually taken seriously and actually be like real game show hosts. I mean, they can put some good, at least they can, be goofy time to time, but most of the times they're serious, and I like it. Because I don't go with hosts that, because that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not trying to make it as a rant video. I know I always repeat myself every single time. I know you get sick of it, but that's true. But I mean, everybody has different types of opinions when it comes to hosts too. Because I know game shows that because I'm not a big fan, because I haven't seen any game shows in a while. I mean, in the modern era, but I mostly go back to the old days where like game shows are just so good and the questions and solving the puzzles were actually simple. That's just my thought. So that's all I had to say. That's my honest thoughts about the Family Feud. Like, what is my honest thought about the new Family Feud host? But like I said, that's just my opinion. We all have different opinions. We're all different human beings, and stuff like that. Yeah. If you guys and girls enjoyed my the video, I have nothing to say at the moment. If you guys and girls enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. Tap the bell for notifications so you can go directly to that video right there. But I most of the times forget. Most of the times I keep forgetting. I always forget, like, oh, go tap the bell. I always forget about that. It's just like I always forget. I guess because I'm, like I said, I'm just too much of an old school person, and I always forget stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah. But my social media are in the description if you want to follow me there. If you want, so I can be updated, you guys and girls, on what I got or what I did. You know, stuff like that. Oh, my throat, but sore throat. Not only because I talk so much, but not really. I always forget. See, like that's I always I always mess things up every time I try to talk about something. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Let me know what you guys and girls thought about what is your favorite. If you have like a ranking of the hosts, what is your number one favorite host and what is your least favorite? Me personally, my least favorite host has got to be Steve Harvey, and Richard Dawson is, or I can't say Richard Dawson is my number one favorite because there's other hosts that I like too, and they're actually more because I actually prefer all the old hosts that we had over the years to Richard Dawson through John Hurley more than the Steve Harvey, because I feel like they're a little more serious and they're actually acting it like it's an actual game show, you know, stuff like that, and the questions are actually way more less than appropriate. Think about it. But that's just my honest thoughts. I'm sorry this is a complete different video than what I normally do, but I just want to talk something about different besides talking about about the musicians that I love in the gaming. But coming up, I'm gonna be coming up soon. I'm gonna start playing like Nintendo 64 games. I was gonna plan on doing like a Toy Story 2 gaming, like the Toy Story 2 on a Nintendo 64, but I haven't get like a fully 100% yet. But I'm just practicing on it, but I'm not that far actually. I mean, I'm actually far, but it's just I need to know. I mean, I'm not gonna full because I remember I did the last game through of what I did of the Toy Story 2 on I think it was on a PC, I believe. Yeah, I think it was on a PC I did, and I didn't get too much. I didn't get too much far there because I was struggling. But nowadays I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting way more farther and getting more 100% accuracy. You know, stuff like that. But anyway, let me know what's your honest thoughts about Family Feud. And I'm sorry this is a complete video. I just gotta talk about because I know many people out there are probably gonna be like, does this guy know some Family Feud or the game shows? And yes, I do know some games. I do know most of the game shows I watched when I was younger. Nowadays, I don't really watch too much of the modern game shows. I just mostly go back. I just watch the older episodes of the game shows just to watch how awesome and how great the questions were, especially how awesome the hosts were back then compared to the nowadays. Nowadays hosts are not my favorite, but like I said, everybody has different opinions. But I will see you in the next video. Wow. I am messing up already in the outro. But change the world. Peace and love.